How's it going, everybody? It's time for a catch-up with the new Dark Dimension viable characters that have released since I got my run done, because we put out other videos showing the gameplay, showing what I used. I think my squads were really good, and the added benefit is they were just amazing elsewhere. But I want to talk about the new class characters, because I get that question all the time. How about Alpha Flight? How about the Mercs for Money? What about the next team? Who should I be aiming to gear tier 19? Well, that's what we're going to seek to answer in this video. If you like it, please make sure you leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. And I mean like right now, let's get into it. So, I'm very set on the unrestricted section. You have to bring Skrull, and you have to either bring Apocalypse or Old Man Logan with him. I lean towards Old Man Logan for a few reasons. He's cheaper, and he's going to pop off with Skrull. Now, the first node of Dark Dimension with that Apocalypse is going to be brutal. Having to deal with that Nova, healing up all the time, but probably one-shot your characters because he spams his ultimate besides your Skrull and your Old Man Logan. That's going to be super tough. But I still lean towards your unrestricted section. Before we even look at City, Global, Cosmic, get your Skrull up. Get your Old Man Logan up, and if you want to wait for Apocalypse, that's cool too. The next mutants we're going to do are going to be in the global section, so it really depends on the speed at which you're traveling through Dark Dimension 7. Are you a spender? Are you at least spending your free-to-play gold on the minis and all that in the gold store? That's going to kind of change the trajectory of who you should bring into that unrestricted section. If you are spending your gold, I would suggest you only bring one of the two to the unrestricted. You either bring Old Man Logan or Apocalypse. I go towards Old Man Logan myself because he's cheaper and he's a little bit better in that regard. But yeah, that unrestricted section, if you don't have Skrull, Apocalypse, and Old Man Logan, it's going to be your longest slog. It's rough. Just understand the rest of the sections, they get better, especially when you bring these kind of teams. All right, so for the non-legendary, non-mythic city, this one's very easy to me. It's 4P Spider Society with Robbie Reyes. We're going to bench our Ghost Spider. It doesn't matter that Ghost Spider has 3 diamonds. She doesn't give you the same benefit Robbie does. And on her team, when the rest of your team, even free to play by the way, if you have a 3-star Penny, a 3-star Pav, I'm still taking them over Ghost Spider. Because once again, it's not about the speed at which you get through Dark Dimension. It's about having the proper tools at the other side. But I'm not going to lie to you. City's going to be easy no matter what. The Noir Robbie connection rips through the nodes. Sure, I one-shot both nodes. Maybe you're going to have to 2-shot or 3-shot if you have these, 3, 4-star. Honestly, free-to-play now should be more at 4-star anyway for these characters, if not 5 with Mega Orbs. You should be at least 4 stars. You're going to have no problem with this team. And it's a smarter investment down the line. Now, Spider Society makes the most sense. Look, they've made so much waves. Currently in war, stupid war rules for them, right? It's ridiculous. Then you got Crucible, where they're just an absolute nightmare. People can't beat them with New Warriors. Masters of Evil struggles. That's without room rules. When you start throwing the room rules, it can get even sketchier without the comps. They were great with Black Knight. They were great with a Quicksilver, with a Dormammu. There's lots of use for these guys. So I definitely think there's so much value with them, and that doesn't even bring up the Spotlight raids. They don't need Gear Tier 19 for the Spotlight raids, right? Gear Tier 18, level 100, they'll handle the Spotlight raids. You're not worried about that. But don't you want a sim? I want a sim, and so I really like this, and I think that the benefits elsewhere, they also prove themselves. When Incursion 3 comes out, skill will probably be the first section. Maybe we're going to want them to be bigger so we can sim through that as well. It's going to be a huge time save and a great efficient team to have elsewhere in the game. Which will lead us into the global section. Black Knight, no-brainer. Nightcrawler, no frickin' brainer. These two characters, if you can bring them with you in the unrestricted section, that's great. Nightcrawler would then add more mutant gear, but if you went Old Man Logan instead of Apocalypse, then this is easier to do, right? You go Old Man Logan with Nightcrawler with Skrull. You have a difficult time in that opening section, but at least you'll have 2 characters for the price of what? Apocalypse costs all 5 pieces, right? I guess you need 1 more mutant piece. It is what it is. These 2 characters are no-brainers in my opinion. They are going to be standing the test of time. They have that plug-and-play value in all game modes. Nightcrawler's the Extreme team, obviously useful in the raids. You can use them in the first 2 nodes of the Spotlight raid, which they excel really well in there. The next Incursion raid, Extreme is probably going to get phased out, but they're going to be the Death Seed level of phased out, where they can still kind of get through the node. You put Old Man Logan in there. Maybe we put Apocalypse in there too once Incursion 3 comes out. So every little bit of extra gear will help them survive that next raid tier. And then Black Knight, look, the bigger he is, the more you're going to win Crucible, your arenas, all that kind of stuff. That leaves you the next 3 spots. 2 new global teams just came out. Alpha Flight, Mercs for Money. Do not bring those characters in for your first run. I love the Mercs for Money team. I don't know about the Outflight team. They're a war defense team. They're going to be great in the raids, but they're a war defense team, right? Do not bring those characters. The global section is extremely difficult, especially if you bring the wrong tools. And those are definitely the wrong tools. They just do not stand up to it, all right? Your two real options are going to be your extreme characters, which is going to be the rest of them, right? Gambit, Forge, and Sunspot. Sunspot is a necessity. You need that energy on spawn that he gives. You need the damage that he gives. You can go 4-piece extreme with Black Knight. It's a really good team. I've heard people one-shot, I think, the first node and like two-shot the second node. And the global nodes are super hard, so that's very impressive. I prefer Cabal. The reason for that is I'm a Crucible fiend. I don't need to put aside as much mutant gear with this, especially now that we're bringing Old Man Logan and Apocalypse is super expensive. So this is easier on your mutant gear thresholds, right? And then, yeah, Cabal is an amazing team. Once you do get Mephisto unlocked, they're kind of the go-to to put with him in War, which is kind of funny. For now, that's going to change as things go on, right? But with the Cabal, I got through it, I think, in 5 days, or 5 attacks, rather, spread over 3 days. Maybe it was 6. You can check out the playlist on the YouTube. It was clean. If you bring these 3 guys, which is what I do recommend, just know you need to be meticulous with the cooldowns you leave up when you die and the enemies you leave up. So there's lots of Morgan Le Fays, there's lots of Void Knights out there, the Kangs, Dormammus. You want to make sure you're not leaving those characters in the situation where, you know, Morgan Le Fay is opening up with her special, or Dormammu is charged still. Dormammu's going to open up his ultimate. You don't want to leave it in a situation like that. You always want to make sure your Nightcrawler has at least his special up to go to. You want to make sure, you know, Namor at least has his special, not too far from his ultimate. You need to play it meticulously, but I've had so much value from the Cabal team. I have no regrets, and that's why I still recommend it. Just make sure you're playing it smart. And I do think the Extreme team needs to play smart as well, but if you wanted to, because of Sunspot, you could go in there auto, let it end, go in the next day, and just keep doing that over and over again. It would take forever to get through it, but at least you would have that luxury if you hate playing Dark Dimension, which is something I do. But that's up to you guys. The non-legendary, non-mythic Cosmic section. Look, no-brainers here are going to be your Kang and your Vol. Vol is kind of a tough pill to swallow because we know that the Bifrost Raid team has to be on its last legs. But being an original character and having the identity that she has, I do believe Scopely is going to want to keep this character relevant. So there has been rumors of Odin. I don't think that would be the next raid team, but I could see that being maybe a Crucible team or a War team, maybe a Battle World team, whatever the case may be. Vol is going to be in the meta for a very long time, as she should be. She's awesome, right? I love her kit. The ultimate, slams. I was going to say slaps and slams. It came out slobs. All right, Kang. Crucible God. Plug and play value off the charts with the speed bar that he gives. Really good war character as well. No brainer for me. Makes sense. He's tech, cheaper side. Good call. Photon. Photon is a cheap bio character, and although Skrull is super heavy on bio, we're not using too much bio along the way. So I like bringing Photon over Void Knight. The reason we're not looking at Void Knight for this is because, let's be honest, guys, Void Knight, where is he? Where is he? He's here somewhere. He's hiding. He's embarrassed because he's weak. He's a really, really weak character. I don't see him at all. I see Photon here. Why is Photon still down here? He's a very weak character, right? He is a extremely, extremely kit-based character. And he doesn't need the stats to land his flips on his ult. He gets 5,000% extra focus for that. I like Hive Mind. I do. I'm definitely concerned about their damage leading to the next raid, and maybe we are going to need to eventually bring all of them to Gear Tier 19 to be able to survive the next raid because they need to activate that Carnage passive. But I didn't find it necessary for right now, okay? So I did like Photon. I like that the Secret Defender is being used on offense right now. That was good enough for me. And then the next two characters, look. We're not using too many Mystics here. The Eternals are going to make it so you one-shot both nodes. Which is cool if you're ready for the next section. It's unnecessary if you're not. I also like the value Eternals give me in a mode like Cosmic Crucible. Gear Tier 19 Eternals, they don't slap like a Gear Tier 19 Nightcrawler does, but they definitely perform a little bit better, and used as like playmakers as opposed to the MVP of the team, they're still really, really valuable in my opinion. But if you don't want to bring them because you want to cheap out on the Mystic section, I completely understand that. I think that's fine. Because the Cosmic section, I keep saying Mystic. The Cosmic section is not going to be that bad. I one-shot both nodes, not trying. Like, I just went in and was like, oh, this is over. Oh, this is over again. And I was moving on, right? But if you're okay, you know, spending 3 or 4 days in there, then you could bring Stitcher. He's a cheap tech character. You just don't need the extra power in the Cosmic section to get through it. So you could bring in Stitcher. You could bring in a super cheap character as well. Like maybe if you just want to save Mystic Gear because you need it for Dormammu, which we're going to talk about. I wouldn't suggest it. Maybe you want to bring a bio character. Maybe you do bring Void Knight in that case. Maybe if you want to do a more fun character, Cosmic Ghost Rider with that out-of-time team in War, they're going to have a lot of value for a long time to come. So I do see that there are some substitutions here, but I still like and I still recommend the Eternals just because of their playmaking potential in things like War and Crucible and the coming tower modes, Sword Satellites, whatever they throw at us down the road, right? All right, Legendary section. You have to bring Old Man Logan. Look, we waited for Old Man Logan. We got in there and it was hilarious. And this was before the Old Man Logan payout happened. What was he at the time? He was 5 yellow, 2 red from doing the highest difficulty. He carried the mode. We had diamonds on Nova and Black Cat. I brought Rogue instead of Red Hulk. On Rogue, on Green Goblin. We had diamonds on all those characters. They were getting demolished. Old Man Logan came in there with 2 red stars and 5 yellows, covered people in debuffs, was stunning everybody and their mom. He was kicking them while they were down. They were off screen dead. He was stabbing them anyway. He is insane. You 100% need to bring him, and you should bring him to the unrestricted section anyway, so you definitely want to bring Old Man Logan. Green Goblin, I like just because of his use elsewhere. He was trash in the mode. Yes, he does a couple buff flips with his first 3 attacks. That was cool. Other than that, it would like the rewinds were, especially on the ultimate, very minimal. It was more so just like, oh, it was a baby rewind, and then Old Man Logan comes for the assist, and he's like shanking people again, right? So I like Green Goblin just for use elsewhere. Black Cat was really nice. I would definitely recommend her. Skill characters, fantastic. Stun, trauma, turn meter rewinds. I use her as a striker in this regard. Really great. Nova. If you hate War and you don't need the Nowhere team at all, maybe don't bring Nova. I liked him because he was bio. I like War. I use him for plug and play in some Crucible settings. And he's cheaper, right? He's a 3-piece. So it made sense for me to bring Nova. And then I like Red Hulk. The reason I like Red Hulk over Rogue, even though I brought Rogue, is I like his use on offense. In War, just like Nova right now, on offense, really, really fun character to use. In Crucible, he's now part of my like top 5 power couple combinations. We'll have a video on that eventually sometime this week. I really like Red Hulk with Apocalypse, taking off multiple revives, giving Apocalypse speed bar, getting him to punch faster. They said they're pulling away from the speed meta, which is cool, because that means a character like Red Hulk, who has a really fast speed stat, if they're no longer loading up people with speed bar, loading up people with speed up. Now, Red Hulk has got a pretty fast speed stat. He can come in, bang, 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 Apocalypse comes in, Hadouken, and you're off to the races, right? So I do see value with Red Hulk coming down the line. Now, there are a couple interesting replacements that I would 100% understand. Doc Ock in conjunction with Green Goblin would make a lot of sense. You'd have a lot more of those charges, a lot more buff flips. Turn meter rewind would hit for a little bit more. You get the Shocker, he can do a turn meter rewind as well. Lots of healing, lots of stuff going on that would really not only improve Green Goblin, but really help Old Man Logan do what he needs to do too. Like I got debuff extensions, we got slows, lots of stuff happens with him, right? I just don't like how much he costs, but we've been pretty light on tech with these recommendations. If you have enough tech, because that's what you've been getting from your orbs, that's what you've been getting from the store, you just have enough tech, then I would recommend bringing Doc Ock here. Doc Ock is a fantastic character for me. The mini cost, if all else is equal, right? If you're getting even across the board, then you may not have enough tech minis, is what I'm trying to get across here. But Doc Ock, I think, would be the first replacement. After that, we brought Rogue because we had enough mutant minis. That felt great. Other than that, like Morgan, I don't think so, guys. Omega Red, I love me a good War team, but if I'm going for a War team, I'm going Red Hulk over Omega Red. So I don't think Omega Red makes the list anymore, although he is an amazing Dark Dimension character, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I would definitely do Doc Ock over Red Hulk if I had the minis for it. And that leads us to the Mythic section. Kestrel, no brainer. Skull, no brainer. Apocalypse, no freaking brainer. Obviously, right? The real question is for your first run, are you bringing Doom or are you bringing Dorm? Right? Dorm is a 90 cost of the Mythic. That works against him. Doom is split. I believe he is what, 3 tech, 3 Mythic or something like that. Let's go look it up real quick. What I'll tell you from my experience doing the actual nodes, I would have hated myself if I had brought Dorm. I really would have. The ultimate from Dr. Doom, the Doom bots were really, really nice. They take good hits. When he brings somebody for a ride, it's fantastic. But something that a lot of people are running into, and I do not envy those people that run into this issue. The Mephisto, the last wave Mephisto drops in. He drops in with like a Kang, a Photon, a Drax with a 1,000,000,000% resistance and a bajillion% life. And it's not War, it's not Crucible, so it's not like you get exhaust from that Mephisto. I've had reports of people getting like 10, 11 attempts once they get stuck in that hell loop just to get out of it. I would hate that, because that's the last wave before you unlock Mephisto. You are at the finish line. You will be so inclined to core your ass off once you get there. It's going to tax you hard. Or you head into that node with your Dr. Doom ultimate already applying, right? Like, that's what I did. I made it so it was just Nightcrawler left on the wave before that. Doom started his ultimate. He hit into the Nightcrawler. Kestrel pinged him out. Doom had a couple more turns, and then bada boom, bada bang, Apocalypse obliterated everybody else. And it was just 5 versus Mephisto, and we got it done. And it's very important to know yourself. You will be inclined to core if you get stuck in that hell loop, okay? And that might cost you more in cores than, you know, refreshing the store to get Doom up there. Because we're looking at Doom price right now. He is 2-piece Mystic and 2-piece Tech. So he's not even a full 5 cost. So the website is just broken right now. I strongly recommend your first run bringing Dr. Doom, not Dorm. Don't bring Dorm. You can get through with 4 people. Your second run, you're going to bring Mephisto in anyway. And that's going to be it, guys. That is my best characters currently for Dark Dimension. This is actually not much changed since I first went through it, except Spider Society are definitely better than what I brought. I would do Red Hulk over Rogue, and I just want to put the warning out there. Alpha Flight, Mercs for money, those are not the teams for Dark Dimension. We'll wait and see whatever the next team comes out. I really hope it's a Cosmic team, because I would love to replace these 3 goobers right here. Like, these 2 guys would be great. I really hope we get an Odin. If we get Odin next patch after this Alpha Flight nonsense, the other stupid Canadians, and I can say it because I'm Canadian, we want some Asgards, all right? We want a good Asgard team. A new Mystic team would be great for new players. It would signify the beginning of a new incursion rate, which I think people are hungry for. I would love a new Cosmic team. Let me know what you guys thinking about these characters in the comment sections below. But for right now, you guys stay happy, healthy, and have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.